a Zoom guitar pedal, and that was also from a friend in school who gave me that. And
How
then
how how did that progression happen? Like from a regular song to becoming it metal, and then you're discovering that free metal sound.
it started with Deep Purple. I remember
Okay.
listening to all these, and I had a friend in SLBC who was very elder to me, who was actually a fan of our band and who also supported the band back in the day. He, Tilina Samarasuriya. So he often, came to visit the band, and he had guitar amplifiers. He had a proper drum kit also. He then again, brought that to the house and all that. So then he brought Deep Purple, and I remember he brought few CDs and from Deep Purple and Black Sabbath, and So when I heard this song, Deep Purple first, when I heard Deep Purple, the only thing it struck me was I'm never going to play this kind of music. This is too extreme. This is after listening to Deep Purple, Smoke on the Water for first time. That was in like 96, beginning of 96 or something.
Right.
And then only it started growing to us, then you started listening to your playlist. It's there on Winamp, your playlist, and it's like rotating. And then accidentally by that time, I remember I stumbled upon the first vinyl of Iron Maiden. You know where I found it? In Bumbleapity in front of MC on the pavement.
Yeah, I bought Iron Maiden. I bought Iron Maiden vinyl also at the same place.
Yes. And you know why I bought it? I didn't know it was Iron Maiden. I didn't know what Iron Maiden was back in the day. Right. The only thing it was Life After Death. Oh, yes, Life After. Yeah, Life After Death. This blue album vinyl, and this grave, shattering, skull coming out of it,
Right.
And I was so into art. I wanted to buy that, and I remember it was like $50 or $60 or something like that. He wanted me to buy about that whole range, but I said, no, I wanted this. So I bought that. I had a vinyl player at home because my dad had bought a vinyl player.
Right.
Here. And I came home and I was more, I was inspired by the art, I was like showing it to my dad. I was like, it's like, yeah, it's pretty good stuff and all that. And then I listened to this vinyl. And then there's this other sound. There's this crazy solos and I couldn't imagine that there are this kind of talent existed, And then I was like, what the hell have I been playing? Like I felt like the originals that I've been making, like wow, it's like. And then when I saw in the vinyls, you have the whole lyrics also. Then I got to read the lyrics, like profound lyrics, and like at that time it was, I don't know, it was really eye-opener for me. I think 96 was the game changer for me. And then, but as fast as I was progressing, my band members at that time weren't progressing like that because they were more into, the the Sinhalese music, and we were doing some Clarence Milton also, while we were doing our originals, and then I think that was the base where I started kind of like treating my music, like taking it seriously, like getting to know that, oh, I don't actually do much, like then I had to kind of like think of, that book is not going to help me, explore more unless, like, so then I tried to reach for that sound. Then at the time I had amplifiers, like we had bought some, like collected money from gigs, what we could do here and there. And then we started playing at Rock Cafe. Yes, that was one venue in Kolpiti we started,
Right.
So we had a slot, a Wednesday slot. So I was schooling at that time. I remember, like I used to play, and the next day, at least 1 or 2 o'clock, I would come home, and that's why, like I had the members and my friends at that time were a little bit more older to me also, who was helping our band, So they used to come, and like Tilina is one of our common good friends. He basically came and he dropped me off before leaving, and I remember going to school late, coming into class late, and then shifting my, like I wasn't a fan of school, I kind of like, I really hated school in Sri Lanka, like it was torture for me, number one, and I think I was kind of like a thug also back in the day, like I was moving with the wrong crowd, in school. But when I started playing at Commerce Days and all that, so all that also kind of like calmed down, and and started gaining more respect from the teachers, and staff and all that. Also
Right.
getting recognition for, okay, he's a musician, kind of. So, but I think that's the influence for me. I started changing into metal, kind of like the initiation, but it
Right.
took some time. I had to develop my skill, of course. And then we started playing. Then by, I remember, by 96 December and 97, then we were full throttle Deep Purple, well, full throttle, Black Sabbath,
Hmm.
Paranoid, like one of the anthems we jammed, like over and over again, and still trying to, get that essence of those solos. And yeah, I think it was a slow transformation. And then, like, it was the 90s revolution of, rock that was happening,
Right.
alternative rock was happening. And then, and those kind of influences coming in also, so I'll be listening to, like, okay, bands like, then only I started listening to bands like Metallica, then, like, getting more explored into that, type of music like thrash metal, and getting into the death metal aspect. Then I discovered, in 98, 99, I discovered death,
Hmm.
and then was like, wow, like, but still I had, like, we hadn't seen them, like, okay, we're just hearing these things,
Right.
we're just getting tracks from friends and friends from other schools, sharing hard drive culture, right? Like,
Right.
you find something on a hard drive, and then Megadeth wallpapers were like all over. Like, I remember, like, the desktops of every kid in our school, we didn't even know who Megadeth was, but we've known them from this, wallpapers we had of the cover art they had, of
Right.
the albums and all. So that was like really weird. And then when you get to listen to the music, I think for me it was like in 2001 until I had the internet. Like, I discovered, I started, getting more familiar with the internet. Then only I started discovering this stuff. So
Uh,
until then, it was just few Metal Hammer magazines, but you never got to see these people, right? We never got to see them. For us, I never got to see them properly.
hmm.
Whatever I saw was, like, Slash playing Sweet Child of Mine on IT, and that's the only solo you get to see at that time,
Right.
and Queen, but discovering bands like Iron Maiden, seeing them kind of like changed everything, and then it hit me, um, and also my band members, that there's more to it, not just the music, and it's a presentation. It's then it carved into our hearts. Like, it's not just, then when you read about these things, you grow up with that culture, then you feel like, wow, it's not about just that. Like, it's also about who you are, like how you express who you are.
Right.
So for us, it was very eye opening. Why? Because it was, we were growing up through war, and that music, especially, Black Sabbath and Deep Purple and, Uriah Heep at that time, and Death, like, kind of like, and gave us more inspiration to go through what we are going through, knowing our
Right.
friends were dying out, like, the things you see in news. So it was easy to cope up, and then we made our sound heavy, and then only I started really serious and, conceptualizing, then I wanted to talk about, that's why we didn't have a, I think that's where the foundation for Pain came in. We
Hmm.
wanted to explore what pain was to us growing up in this culture. You know, so yeah, I think that's how it started. That's how it progressed. By 99, 2000, we were a heavy metal band. Heavy metal, not death metal.
So
How it
what
came.